Jamie,
Jamie,
what do you know?
what do I know?
What do you know about protein bars and wine?
That it's not dinner, but you're going to make it.
I'm going to disagree with you and say that it is dinner.
Define dinner.
What is the definition of dinner?
What kind of bar? I already forgot.
Chewy protein bar. Gluten-free,
Wow.
apparently.
What an amazing name for a bar.
Dinner bar.
Dinnerbar.com. Get yours today. Sponsored Watchtower Database. The official
Go to
dinner of Yoppie Dudes.
teespring.com/wine and dinner bar.
Teespring.com/stores/wine and dinner bar. Get your Yoppie Dude Dinner Bar t-shirt today. Welcome back to Jump on the Bat-Wagon. That's how we started this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Chaos every time.
Every time.
That's how could we do it any different?
We couldn't. It's just who we are.
We can't. If we tried to do it I think there's one that started off pseudo okay. That might have been episode 1. It's not this one though.
Nope. But this is just
What
us.
is this? What's this podcast, Brian? What do we do here?
Jump the wagon.
Oh, on Bat. This is the show where we watch through the entire DC animated universe. You might have heard from start to finish in the controversial airdate order. Okay.
Okay. Banana Man.
To view the shows the way human beings experience them in the far gone days of the 1990s.
Correct.
Or just 1900s in general. Brian here.
Me.
This is his first time through the DCAU. I'm showing this little baby boy who's 30 years older than me.
Whoa. When did that happen?
Sometime around 40 episodes of this podcast ago about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it kind of fluctuates. There's been this hilarious running gag about you're way older than you are. I don't know if you've caught on to that or not.
No way. Tell me more.
It was kind of funny. I thought it was funny. I laughed at it.
I think when I met Tip Tapricot in person, they made a joke about me not looking as old as I am or something like that.
As old as you actually are.
Oh, as old as podcast me
thanks.
is.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
that makes more sense.
That was a while. That was years ago. I don't know.
Are we getting lots of granola bar ASMR in this one?
I hope
not.
not.
Kind of happening. Yeah, okay.
So I keep
sweet.
leaning back in my chair to get away from the mic.
We recommend that you watch today's episode before listening to this podcast to get the full experience out of our discussion. And please, if you send in mail or leave a comment, don't spoil anything past this episode for Brian. You nincompoop, okay?
Okay.
Okay, today we're watching Day of the Samurai, sequel to Night of the Ninja. I don't remember what your prediction was. I've already forgotten.
Why not?
The ninja would be back, and he was going to they were going to be on a Ferris wheel. He was going to meet the ninja on a Ferris wheel. They were going to have a great time at the carnival.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, yeah. I really hope that they do that. If there's a Ferris wheel in this episode, there's been like abandoned amusement parks every other episode so far. So
Yeah, why
it's
not?
not out of the question. Yeah.
When was the last time you saw this?
I don't know. A long time ago.
So
In a
I can.
galaxy far, far away.
I feel like I can discern from that it's not a good episode.
You could say that. You could think that. I don't know. Sometimes there's really good episode. Like I can think of a really good episode that's coming up soon that I haven't watched in a long time either. So,
Robin's Reckoning Part 3.
pooh, yeah, aka Birds of a Feather Part 2.
Oh no.
Another penguin episode. Day of the Samurai. This aired February 23rd, 1993. We skipped 0 days. 4:30 p.m. on Fox.
Sweet.
This is the 43rd episode produced, 55
Oh.
to air. Yeah.
Wow, that's a callback to Flash animation days.
Shiggity schwa, you might Day of the Samurai. In the production order, there was Moon of the Wolf, then Heart of Steel Part 2. Very strange arrangement of
We had that last
episodes.
time too.
Yeah. This was written by Steve Perry of Journey, who also wrote Night of the Ninja, Terror in the Sky, and The Mechanic. Directed by Bruce Timm, who directed Heart of Ice, The Laughing Fish, and The Man Who Killed Batman. All great episodes. Music is by Carlos Rodriguez. Fear of Victory, If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich? And Robin's Reckoning Part 1. And animation by Lapis Azul, Blue Pencil. Also, If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich? Was the other one that they did.
Nice.
So at this point, we're getting such a mix of things. We've had such like ups and downs of all of these, that listing these out being like, oh, it's the writer of these episodes that were fine, but the director of these really good episodes, like, it's not really going to tell you anything at this point. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like at this rate and experiencing everything that I've experienced, I'm just going to say that every single episode could either be great, terrible, or forgettable.
Yeah, or maybe all.
Maybe all of these at the same time.
It's great and forgettable. It's so good, your brain just cannot hold on to it. It's like, I don't know where it went. It's gone.
Speaking of
help,
things...
Help, it says. Help me.
My brain it doesn't say that at all.
Your brain says that all the time, I think is what you meant.
That's what I meant to say. But no, I was going to say, speaking of things that are great, I do want to do a quick shout out to our, of course, everyone here, our Lord and Savior, Dylan Pollock.
Dylan Pollock.
Don't know if you've been listening to his recent podcast, but it is swell and it's really cool.
Let's say we have. Let's say I have been listening. Just for his sake, let's pretend that I've been listening. Make him feel better, I think.
It's worth carving out your like half hour-ish. Those dogs are really going at it. Hey.
Oh.
Not like that. Anyway, movies to watch before you die.
Yes.
If you haven't checked it out, pointing fingers.
The
Listener who hasn't listened to it.
Yeah. That's not me.
Definitely go give it a listen. A watch if you want, but you know.
I'm pretending that I haven't listened to it. That sounds great, and I will go listen to it.
There you go.
This was something I would say had I not listened to it already.
Yes, that sounds accurate.
Oh, what's happening? I guess that's our transition music into watching the episode. It's called Day of the Samurai. Let's go do it.
Let's do it. Smooth as ever,
Fuck.
Jamie.
Hell yeah.
Another tumbler, Master Bruce. Shall I pack for our return to Gotham City, sir?
I'm afraid not just yet, old friend.
I thought that with the recovery of the young lady and the destruction of the scroll, your chores here were finished.
Kyodai has the part of the scroll that describes the Oonemori touch.
I'm afraid my Japanese is a bit rusty, Master Bruce.
It means big sleep. A better translation might be eternal sleep.
Oh. Oh, my.
Why do we watch this show? I don't know. Sometimes it just happens.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, I don't remember that animation being that bad, but
That
was
is
pretty weird.
I will say, hands down, the worst animation we have seen so far.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Let me remind you of such moments as Bat Bruce animated
Bat
as
Bruce.
a perfect still with his arms just going swoosh.
That was cool,
and
man.
swoosh in front of
That
him.
was cool.
Allow me to remind you of Batman stretching and saying words with his teeth gritted for a full sentence and his mouth doesn't move.
I don't
What
think
else
any of
happened?
that's worse than the Sewer King animation.
I don't know. Alfred walking down the stairs at like kind of impossible angles with this
What
weird
happens in this episode,
hitch in
Brian?
his leg.
Besides all this stuff.
Ooh, okay.
We found one for you to be mad at again. It's been long enough.
We're rolling into it. Okay. Basically, Batman / Bruce Wayne's old adversary decides to make a comeback because he wants a scroll that tells him how to kill people with a single touch. So he kidnaps Batman's sensei's prize student or whatever in order to get this scroll that's been kept secret for a long time. It lures Bat Bruce all the way to Japan, I guess, where he picks up a bad Japanese accent for some reason.
He does. Only when he's saying, mostly when he's saying Japanese words but sometimes when he's not. Yeah.
Just when he's speaking to a sensei, he puts on a very stereotypical white dude doing a Japanese accent, which is weird.
Yeah. It's not great.
I understand, having lived with a Japanese friend of mine, I do understand when you kind of pick up mannerisms in speech.
Yeah.
To better communicate like on their level or whatever. Because like my friend Dai, like his first language is very much not English, and English is, I don't even think, his second language.
But it wasn't Bruce Wayne like speaking like he's like, oh, Yoru's not going to understand English, I better speak slowly or anything. He's just like, he's like the friend that goes like, oh, I'm going to go on a vacation to Venezuela. Like he has to say just the Japanese words like in a very...
Oh man, I had a great time in Barcelona.
Yeah. What was the one word he said like, oh, this thing? I can't remember. He like really stretched it out. I don't know.
I just keep wanting to say onigiri touch, which makes me hungry.
Oh, that's probably what it was. Yeah.
But anyway, to finish this Sinyap, he battles his adversary way too close to a volcano. It blows up. Bat Bruce tries to help his adversary dude. His name I just don't even care to know.
Kyodai Ken.
That's the one. Ken.
You just call him the ninja.
Just Ninja Ken.
Ninja Ken and Ninja Barbie.
Batman like tries to help him and is like, hey, grab the rope. I'm gonna pull you away from this exploding volcano that we are right in the path of. But no.
It's dripping everywhere, and
it's
none of
just
the drips get on
spewing
him.
lava everywhere, and
There's
Barbie's
just a shower
Ken.
head of lava right next to them, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not getting."
It's gonna make this battle more epic. It's fine.
And Alfred goes, "Oh!" like twice.
Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa!
Anyway, I don't know. The guy like probably blows up. He's in the middle of a river of lava, an impassably large river of lava. He bows, like conceding to being defeated by Bat Bruce. There's a huge explosion in smoke, and then suddenly everything he was on is gone. Yeah. I presume he's coming back. Fuck, I hope he's not. Do you want to read the regular synopsis? Because
I do, and then I think you'll like some of the trivs based on that sentence. So, official synopsis from Warner Brothers. Yeah? It's a long one. Do you want to? Can you do like some like Oriental sounding like twinklies? What the first shot of the episode? You're like, oh, we're getting racial. It's just very Japanese sounding. I don't know.
I don't know if I can.
I'm just gonna go. You'll figure it out. All right. Wait, didn't you figure out how to plug the guitar into your sound system and not have to do this?
I did.
Whatever. I don't care. Kyodai Ken, the ninja who hates Bruce Wayne, see Night of the Ninja, kidnaps the daughter of Sensei Yoru. Was that said that it was his? No, it wasn't his. It was just his like star pupil or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think it was his daughter.
I don't think it was his daughter. The martial arts instructor who taught both Kyodai and Bruce. His ransom for her is a scroll that teaches the location of the fabled Death Touch. Bruce Wayne and Alfred travel to Japan to help Yoru regain his daughter. Not his daughter. This is particularly dangerous as Kyodai, having fought both Batman and Bruce, knows that they are the same man because their fighting styles are identical. Batman rescues Yoru's daughter, but Kyodai manages to get the scroll. He then kidnaps Alfred and challenges Batman to a duel, the stakes of which are Alfred's life. I think, and Batman's, I would say.
Kind of technically.
More importantly, Batman's life, I think. Batman agrees to meet Kyodai on the slopes of a volcano, and the two fight while the mountain begins to erupt.
Whoops.
Kyodai tries the death touch on Batman, but to his shock finds that it doesn't work. Batman has figured out a way to render it ineffectual. The volcanic fissure separates them, and rising lava traps Kyodai. Batman attempts to save him, but the ninja finds a remnant of honor by refusing to be saved. That's it. We're done now. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I feel like I could have done that better on the piano, but all the same, Thank you.
Yeah, next time you gotta whip out the keyboard every once in a while that just collects dust on your wall.
This one,
Ashley touching his Australian dust collecting keyboard.
This one has a dust cover over it.
Oh my God!
Look at that. Not a speck of dust.
Yeah, and only
Actually, there is
one
one
octave,
speck
2
of
octaves. You got a sample pad. That's nice.
Have you not seen this keyboard?
I don't think so. You keep it in a sleeve, apparently.
This is my Make Electronic Music keyboard.
Ooh. Yeah, we got to use that for the Zeta project. When we get to the Zeta project.
You have a guy who makes you music already.
No, when we get to the Zeta project on the podcast, you got to play like loops and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I could do that.
I don't know. Speaking of which, in 2 days from when this podcast comes out, the first Zeta Month video comes out. It's a prologue to Zeta Month.
Oh my God.
It's 17 minutes of just story. Prep your asshole.
I can't watch that, I feel.
Actually, I think you can.
What?
But no, I should show you Batman and Harley Quinn 99% of it before I show you any of Zeta Month. But we could just have a little marathon sometime.
Hooray.
Anywho, this was an episode of Batman the Animated Series.
This was a bad episode.
Okay, so I'm going to stick to my gut here. I don't think the animation was as bad as you think it was. I think there were plenty of moments where it was maybe some of the worst that we've had. It was god-awful. There were a couple points where I just, like, both of us would just have out loud, like, oh, God, what? Kind of, like, well, okay, the first one that comes to mind was when they used the same background twice back to back. The Batman is leaping after the ninja on a rooftop, and it cuts to a slightly more zoomed out version of the exact same painted background we were just looking at.
Barely different.
Yeah, and then they leap into it from as if they're in a different location now. What? Why?
I mean, they could have just like flipped that. I guess they could have just flipped it.
It would have been at least less noticeable.
Yeah, that's...
It's just like literally the same image. Like how I don't know. I've not noticed that before.
But just like even your basic, like every single character looked bad all the time.
Yeah.
Like the totality of the animation was real bad.
I think that shot of Batman swiping away the hits like a badass was cool. You thought it looked really stupid.
It looked so stupid. It was like Ren and Stimpy style stupid. Like you wouldn't normally use a completely like. I've never seen like
Still
Batman
frame. Yeah.
blocking a thing with his torso completely not moving. It's a still, and his arms only coming into the frame. How do you even describe that? Like
he's doing a wax on, wax off, Brian.
Yeah, but like you can't
Obviously.
see, like you see him so like standing perfectly still, head, shoulders, and like a bit of
Knees
his
and toes.
and a bit of his chest, and then his arms and like his hands and wrists just come up from the bottom of the screen,
Just
and they do
rotate,
these
yeah.
180-degree wipes and just like perfectly block. But he's got no movement at all, zero, zilch,
Yeah.
frozen still, and just
Yeah. In general, the motion, the human movement in this episode was very like Gumby like. It was very rubbery and weird. You gonna sneeze? No, you're
Apparently
not.
not.
You were yeah, I love that. The non-sneeze sneeze.
Oh, it's so good.
My least favorite thing. But yeah, just like running across the rooftop and stuff. Like Batman, fucking, he can move like 500 feet in 2 seconds. By just like at the end, I'm thinking that my brain is skipping around to so many points in this episode where Batman like did a jump or a run or something, and it just was very strange and very like too fast. I don't know. Like
when
he shoots the like grappling hook,
Yeah.
and then just like fucking just goes up the
He is,
building like in 2 seconds.
Literally,
like, oh my God.
almost as fast as a bullet. Like he's just he's there, and suddenly
Fuck
he's
Superman! I can do this myself.
There's another like the one where he's like about to fight Ken on the volcano, and he like jumps about I don't know, like he crouches down
40 feet
and
in
then
the air,
jumps
yeah.
like 40, 50 feet in the air, and maybe 80 to 100 feet in distance. He just crouches and jumps and just like what is going on with the physics of this episode?
Yeah, anytime anyone walks, you mentioned the Alfred walking, but there was also shots of Batman like walking in the cave where his feet were doing like the entire full motion that a foot could do, flopping down. Like I described it as goofy shoes as he's walking.
It's more like everybody was walking as if they had what are those like scuba diving foot things called?
Oh
I
yeah,
can't think.
just flippers.
Flippers. Yeah. It's like they had everybody had flippers on, and they were like they were walking with the mannerisms as if they had flippers on, and then their feet were also doing that weird wavy flap thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Jamie.
Yeah, it was very weird, but there were some shots where I did think Batman looked really cool. I'm not talking necessarily about the hand thing that I will disagree on, but there was a couple of just like him standing there facing him with his cape blowing in the wind and stuff that looked good. Like I was like, oh, that's surprisingly good out of all of the weird bad stuff that we've had up until this moment. But we also just had plenty of stuff like the very opening of the episode with Kyrie.
The girl's highlighter shadows.
Yeah, she had like shadows that were brighter than the. It happens on Robin sometimes too, where like his green areas of his costume just have like a blue as the shadow, and it's not actually darker; it's just a different color. Oh. And I'm like, well, this doesn't. Why did you choose this? I think it might have been one of those things that Dan talked about with the like limitations of paint palette or whatever, but. I feel like there must have been a better option.
I mean, they could have used
I don't know.
anything other than 5 shades lighter than the color of her clothing.
Yeah.
And tan. Like, why bright tan?
I don't know.
I didn't know bright tan was a
didn't
color.
really serve much of a purpose other than just like he needs to do a thing that's bad that gets Batman called in. So I guess kidnap the girl. Like they just made up a girl to be kidnapped.
Yeah.
It wasn't. You said that you thought you'd met this character before, and who did you think that was?
Zatanna. Actually, I was realizing.
Dark hair, girl.
I mean,
there's not red hair, so it can't be any
some
of the
lady.
3 that we know of those.
Yeah.
Not your sensei's daughter. I don't know. Not a lot to talk about with this one. There's some interesting choices in the animation, and the story was just kind of whatever.
Yeah. So bad.
Yeah. Batman manages to not get killed by the finger poke by wearing a like sheet of rubber under his costume that has a hole exactly where he would have been poked.
Can we talk about that for a second? Because like he has the armor.
Yeah. How do they both have a perfect like map of the thing on a dummy somewhere? Like they show the ninja. I was like, oh, cool. He's drawn it on a dummy. What a clever thing, so he can practice. And they also thought of that in Good Guy Town, so they also have a replica of the same dummy.
Okay, I have a book. So that's not a strange thing. That
they already
is
have
just
markings like that on them?
That is actually just like the meridian lines of the body.
Oh. Well, then why... I thought that they were drawing the like map of the... Well, look, Brian just had a book ready to go.
I could
I
talk
thought they were
more
drawing
on
the
this.
map of the pokey parts, the bad touches.
So that's actually a style of martial arts that I practiced in. And it was all about like how the meridian lines of your body interact. And there are like different things that you can legitimately do that like if you activate, oh God, this is going to sound so like pseudo woo. I'm sorry, everybody. But there's different things that you can like, there's different like, pressure points you would have said in like grade school.
Called them key or something.
Yeah, which is, like the Americanized is chi. So you have these different points on these different meridians that you can like kind of do like Street Fighter combos on. And if you hit somebody in a specific order, it's going to multiply. And there are actually like, and there's times when I was practicing where you would hit, like you'd be like, okay, so there's like 3 points. Like the basic idea is that like you hit 3 points well enough and you're going to knock somebody out. Like you basically like interrupt their ki or their chi or whatever you want to say. And there were times where you'd like hit somebody that you were practicing on, like with 2 good ones, and you'd kind of see their eyes gloss over and they'd get lightheaded and, get a little bit like almost like dizzy or like kind of like the television
so it's not
thing.
As fictional as the episode. The episode always leads me to believe that it, like I get that this is I've assumed that this was like based on something, but it always seems more like fantastical than a real thing. So I'm sure that there's not the poke you in the sternum and you're dead version, but
so there's just different ways that like I think the theory, and similar to like Kill Bill with the whole like 5 thing, like that's kind of this like lore, is that if you do 5 on the same meridian or whatever, that it's going to like knock you out. And even in competition, there's different ways. Like if you do something in the lung meridian, it's supposed to like interrupt like your nervous system, like sending signals to your lungs. And so if somebody gets knocked out on like a lung meridian, you have people there, like you're not referees, but whatever, who will restart your lung meridian, because there's just different ways that like, oh, like if you hit back here, it's going to restart this meridian. If you hit over here, it's going to restart this meridian. And so it's kind of like if someone gets knocked out in that way, you slap them in a specific way, and then you kind of like reactivate that whole thing. I'm sorry, this is such like a nerdy
learning
monologue.
things.
But that's why when you're watching the episode, I was like, oh yeah, that like actually a lot of that checks out.
Well, yeah. Have you heard of the Dark Knight Returns comic?
Nope.
It's a Frank Miller. It's
Frank Miller though.
Top 5 most famous Batman comics, probably.
Sweet.
80s super gritty. Batman's old, and there's a girl Robin, maybe, for I don't know. Anyway, there's the whole thing. He has a big fight with the bad guy at the end where he's hitting him in different pressure points, and it's very similar to what you're talking about. So maybe that was also sort of the basis for this episode. I don't know.
It's a thing.
Yeah, book.
It's a thing.
Is this episode books or hip hop, Brian? It's a book, obviously. It's a book. Cast, Brian. Yeah?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
It's a very small cast. Very small. Just like Yoru Sensei. Kevin Conroy as Batman. I caught you mid-water drink. There's actually way too long of a shot of Batman just standing there bowing to Sensei, and he's like so small. He's so small.
I like that also they like froze the background for that, and you can see because there was like a white spot of dust that popped up, at least on the Blu-ray.
Oh yeah,
and it it popped up like a piece of dust the second that they bowed, and then it stood there until they unbowed, and then it went away.
Oh, okay. I just had to be here real quick.
Yeah.
Have you noticed how small this guy is? Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. as Alfred. Robert Ito as the ninja, is the same as last time. Julia Kato as Kairi. She played Kira Finster, Chucky's Japanese stepmother in Rugrats.
Awesome.
And bit parts in Animaniacs, Bonkers, Iron Man, the animated series, and The Legend of Calamity Jane, which is a very short-lived animated series in the late 90s that I just learned about recently from a fan of ours on Twitter that I don't know. I'll probably be bringing it up when we get to Superman because it's around the time that it aired.
Okay.
It's a very unfortunate cartoon, I'll just say that.
Oh, okay.
It's got some very not great things in it. Anyway, and then Go Misawa as Sensei Yoru, previously voiced by Chao Li Chi, so it's a different person. I don't know why. The end.
Great.
I've got some short trivs also. You can blast through this.
Give me some blasted trips.
Bruce's mouth doesn't move when he says it was not good news.
Yep.
It's very obvious. And he's just clenched his teeth the whole time. During the final fight, when Kyodai says it ends now, his mouth doesn't move either.
I think I stopped seeing
good.
it by the end.
Yeah, just stop looking at people's mouths. Kyrie's shirt changes color when talking to Bruce. She's in the room, and his shirt different
Missed
color.
that.
When Yoru and Bruce are talking outside about enlisting Batman's help, Bruce is just wearing a suit. Then after he says, "We've met," the next shot shows him wearing a raincoat.
Didn't notice that.
So you missed all of these things. When Bruce is first seen meditating, a small dragon sculpture is seen giving off smoke for him to breathe. However, as soon as Alfred enters the room, the sculpture disappears completely.
Normal. Okay.
Now, luckily, because of all that, Blue Pencil's only other DCAU animation credit after If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich? So we're already done with them.
Goodbye.
Barely knew ye.
I liked your name, but didn't like your work.
We didn't talk about the ACOM thing that Scotty Cameron, I believe, shared with both of us.
No, we didn't.
So maybe we should mention that real quick. It was a little mini doc about YouTube video about ACOM's history, and basically just that there was a Korean animation studio that was full of people that didn't know what to do, essentially.
Yeah, it was definitely not a lot of artists. But as Scotty was pointing out, that it was really cool that he was bringing jobs to all these people and kind of like putting animation on the map. And yeah, I mean, it's like we were coming at it, I think, with the idea that it was like some established animation company, but in fact, they were still trying to cut their teeth. And of course, we're going to make mistakes.
Once you know what the kind of reasons why it looks as bad as it does are, then it's not necessarily as funny. It's more like, okay, you were trying kind of thing, but it's still bad. Like, we still have plenty of ACOM episodes on the bottom 10 or whatever it is.
Yeah, like I applaud the guy for getting that going and getting all these people's jobs and like really trying to establish them as a legitimate animation company. Not to say they're not legitimate, because obviously they did the thing, but yeah, I think we expected, here I am like being like a fanboy of all Sunrise.
Being a snob of animation. I know what I'm talking about. I'm Brian.
But yeah, so we should eat a lot of the words that we said, I think.
Sure. Yeah, a little.
Yeah.
I still stand by most of the things I've made fun of, but not in necessarily as mean of a way now, I guess. Just from a more subjective perspective of than a like, what the hell were you doing? Obviously, you should know better.
Yeah.
But check that out on YouTube. Just look up ACOM. There's a transformer in the thumbnail. I don't remember who does the video because I'm a bad person. Okay.
I could find it out while you're talking. I'm totally paying attention.
I figured in the same way that I told you about the Sewer King because you hated that episode, this was the final appearance of Kyodai Ken.
Hey!
So, yeah.
He
was
dead.
likely killed in the explosion, unconfirmed, but this is all but confirmed in the Batman Adventures number 24, which is the tie-in comic to this show. Batman encounters Kyodai Ken's sister, Kyodai Naiko, who is in Gotham to avenge her brother's death and kill Batman, whom she believes responsible.
Okay.
She's like sitting at like a shrine to him and like meditating and I'll avenge your death, blah 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 blah.
Well,
and he never comes back. So
shoot,
he comes back in like a scarecrow hallucination in a comic or something like that, but nothing that you'll ever see. So
I guess like I applaud them for actually killing him. I don't know.
Applaud. Yeah. They probably just didn't ever find a just excuse to bring him back. Artist Stan is the name of the YouTube channel. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Transformer Animation Errors -ACOM.
Yeah. When Bruce is tracing Kyodai's phone number, the number reads as an American number, 555-0311. The episode takes place in Japan and should read as a Japanese number, 0399999999. After the phone number traced, the machine displays 563 Tezuka, a reference to Osamu Tezuka, the godfather of manga.
Oh, okay.
He pioneered the art style commonly seen in manga and anime today through the manga revolution of Astro Boy, Kimba the White Lion, Princess Knight, and others. And I was interested in learning more about him. I went to his Wikipedia and immediately saw something that I thought you might be interested to know about, but I will lead up to it with this little paragraph here, okay?
Okay.
In 1961, Tezuka entered the animation industry in Japan by founding the production company Mushi Productions as a rival of Toei Animation. That's the Dragon Ball people.
Oh, okay.
Not the Cowboy Bebop people, but the Dragon Ball people. Actually, it's 2A, something like that. I don't know. It's not Toei. I know that. I looked it up. People were like, it's not Toei. Stop fucking saying that. So that's all I know. Their first film, Tales from a Certain Street Corner, was shown at a single special screening and featured many tricks that would be later standardized as labor-saving measures in the anime industry, such as repeated and reversed animation cycles of characters dancing, frames being held for a long period of time, etc. Astro Boy was first broadcast on New Year's Day 1963. This series would create the first successful model for animation production in Japan and would also be the first Japanese animation dubbed into English for an American audience, and also created the market for children's merchandise. The only reason Astro Boy was able to survive its inception is because Tezuka was able to sell the foreign rights to NBC Enterprises, an important distinction from NBC itself, which was the entity Tezuka believed he was selling to. The American company ordered 52 episodes, a crucial investment because Mushi Pro Productions only had 4 episodes in the can and only enough resources for 1 episode more. In the American localization, even more over-the-top sound effects were used to mitigate the obviously cheap animation. The use of sound would be further utilized and exemplified in other anime to follow, leading to many of the stock anime sound effects modern audiences are now used to. Selling to an animation market was very restrictive, though. Our American market was very restrictive. They were not to include any indication that the show was made in Japan. They were not to have any arc that lasted more than 1 episode. All street signs had to be in English. There could be no religious references, adult themes, or nudity. That part was really fascinating to me because it wasn't even like 2 days ago that Jessica and I were watching an anime and I went, why are all signs in anime in English? Like no other cartoon in any other country just has there's no like American cartoon with like just French signs or or something. Like there's no like this is the only thing that does this. And then I'm just reading this and I'm like, here's your fucking explanation, asshole. So like, cool.
Shin-chan, I couldn't even tell you what episode of Shin-chan makes a comment on that about like there was like something was in English but other things were still in kanji. And where the character talks to Shin's like, oh, why is that? They're like, oh, they're just the American animators got really lazy or something like that.
Well, I guess it's just this, like, it had to be or whatever. It was mandated for this anyway. Tezuka agreed to this, claiming it would be better fit with the sci-fi setting by giving the sense of a placelessness. However, he would soon be disappointed by the American market when a Mushi production representative went to discuss the next year's episode order, only to find out that the Americans didn't need any more, believing that 52 episodes were more than enough to cycle through indefinitely. In the late 60s and 70s, it was clear that the rise of Mushi Productions was a short one, and it was sliding into bankruptcy. Tezuka's financial model was unsustainable, and the company was deeply in debt. Tezuka stepped down as acting director in 1968 to found a new animation studio, Tezuka Productions, and continued experimenting with animation late into his life. In 1963, Mushi Productions collapsed financially. The fallout would produce several influential animation production studios, including Sunrise. It was all leading to that, baby.
I think it's time.
I'm going to stop that there. So a very long way a roundabout way to tell you about that, but there were a few things in that were really fascinating to me about the English and stuff, and also the sound effects that keep getting used, and Astro Boy being the template for everything and things like that. It was just a weird, like, his name is just in Day of the Samurai. Yeah. Is the only reason why that got brought up. But, yeah.
Sweet, man.
Yeah. Thank you. I thought so. Mm-hmm. I thought the listener might find that interesting too, okay?
Did you? You did?
Good. Keen effects in this episode.
Rain inside.
Inside a house. Batman looking out the window. Oh, something in the animation I did like was that flashback to like Yoru Sensei's great-great-great-great-grandfather or whatever, and he's doing martial arts on those guys. That animation was like actually kind of good and cool looking. It was still weird and rubbery, but it was like probably the better looking of the stuff in the episode. I don't know.
Boy, good. They nailed it.
The backgrounds were really good, I think, still. Like, not all of them. But I'm immediately stepping back. Not that one of the house on the hill, but the like volcano in the title card, the sunrise or what? Sunrise? The sunset, whatever it was.
There was like 3 good backgrounds in this.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good art.
Batman's usefulness in this episode.
Pretty good.
It's fine, yeah. I'll give him...
I guess we should actually rate it. I'm so unenthusiastic about this.
I will give Batman... He did survive the golden touch or whatever the fuck. And he
Onigiri.
Yeah, the Onigiri touch. The Onigiri touch. And bested the ninja, I guess, and saved Alfred or whatever. Yeah. He did all the things right. He just wasn't... He wasn't... like, he didn't do anything cool. He just didn't fuck up, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll give him like a solid 6, just because I'm not feeling it for him. 6 dummies with the markings of the map on them out of 10. It's not very creative, but fuck you, Brian.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I agree. He was pretty useful, but like in an unexciting kind of way. So I'm going to meet you right there. I'm going to give him a 6.
Okay.
0.0.
Whoa. We agreed on something.
I'm going to give him a 6.0
2
pieces of paper map meridian line
crumble
thing that tell you how to kill a person with a poke in the chest.
We basically both picked the same thing. The death map.
Okay. 6 out of 10 large volcanoes exploding way too close to people for them to still be alive out of 10. How about that?
6 out of 10. Batman should have slammed his body into that building in 2 seconds, but instead he jumped off of it or something.
6 out of 10. Batman having the physical capabilities scaled up as a grasshopper.
Yeah. Yeah, this grasshopper at human size ratio.
Yeah.
Are we going to put this on the top 10? No. Are we going to put this on the bottom 10?
Yes.
You want to do it? I think it's been a while since we've added one.
I mean, we have to be in consensus about this. Are you like, are you thinking it's
I can't defend it not being on there, okay? That's all I'm going to say.
It is one of those, like, this is like B movie Batman to me.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. Let's just say that, to be honest. I'll add it on here. Day of the Samurai. So we have Prophecy of Doom. I've got Batman in my basement. The Last Laugh. The Clock King. These are in no particular order. Be a Clown. The Cat in the Claw Part 2. It's Never Too Late. Mad as a Hatter. Cat Scratch Fever. Day of the Samurai. And at the bottom, it'll always be at the bottom, The Underdwellers.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not to mention the Hell list, which includes Dude, Where's My Batmobile? Yeah. Doesn't really matter, but that's the bottom.
Yeah.
How many actually are there now? I should just make this numbers and be way easier to know what the hell's going on. 11. Okay, so there's the bottom 11.
You could do this.
The bottom 7-Eleven. There we go. I like that better. Yeah. The bottom slowly rotating hot dogs in a heater.
That's where these episodes are. They are on the 7-Eleven hot dog conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Of doom.
Slowly roasting.
Okay, what do we do now? Books or hip hop?
Yeah,
we
talked
said about
it. It's a book. Yeah,
it's a book. Okay.
Now
moving on.
That's it. We go to we do the mail before we tell Brian the name of the next episode, and he tries to guess what it is.
Well, let's do some mail
based on just the name. I didn't add the thing back in, so it's still just Kimmy. Okay, I forgot. All right, leave me alone.
We drop
what we drop.
Our weekly
Oh yeah, those.
into the comment box first. There sure was a lot.
Now Jamie's mad.
Too bad we're wrong.
Yeah.
I thought I'd meet you on that last one.
Thank you. We are Dylan Pollock, all of us. Even me and Brian.
Which is why we have, I don't know.
Which is why
podcast reference.
Tell me why. There's not a lot of mail in the mailbox, and I wonder if something is still going on with the website being fucky. I don't know. If it is, if you're sending in mail, listener, and you're getting the thing that says delivery bad doo-doo pee-pee, please tell me. And I will keep trying to, I don't know what else to do about it because I fixed it already. Oh, okay. So we have even significantly fewer emails than I thought. We only have one email. This is from Scarlo81. This is Jump on the Mechanic Wagon episode 5, baby.
Sweet.
Hello, listener, and welcome to Jump on the Mechanic Wagon. I'm your host, Scarlo81. In this episode, I will tell you about Season 1, Episode 5 of Earl, the animated series, Day of the Suzuki Samurai.
Oh, no.
After the Batmobile is in an accident and the Bat-Cycles are also being repaired, Batman is worried about how he's going to get around. but Earl has just what Batman needs. A 1993 Suzuki Samurai. Batman is hesitant at first, but after he finds out about its 5-speed manual transmission and that it has 66 horsepower, he decides to try it out. And in the end, when the Batmobile has been fixed, Batman said, I'm going to miss that car and its 1.3 L4 cylinder engine. This episode is sponsored by Suzuki. Is it just me? Or is it weird for a kid show to be sponsored by a car manufacturer?
A little bit, yeah.
Anyway, see you next time. Same PP time, same poo-poo channel.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Scarloey. GCN Musical Minute from Jordan Blumen.
Bring it.
It's GCN, Gotham City News with Jack Ryder. Tonight's top story, Mayor Hill attended the grand opening of the new GG Gotham Grocery. In other news, GCN's very own Summer Gleason will be hosting the 17th annual Gotham Dog Show this weekend. Who will win? You'll have to tune in to find out. Only on GCN. Has anyone seen Batman lately? I haven't been here in a couple days. Yeah, it was a bank robbery over on 4th. He didn't show up. Well, I hope you're doing okay wherever you are, Batman.
Clever.
Over to the music.
Clever.
I love all of the flute motifs for Kyodai. I also really love when Batman does a big swing and the music goes. I love when music mirrors the action on screen.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Us too.
What made you gasp at the flutes?
I could have played some Japanese sounding flute stuff. That's what I should have been doing. Of course, I got everything.
Well, we'll do that for the next Ninja.
What if you just go back and I'll just overdub the shitty guitar?
Ninja. No. This is from Dylan Pollock. Once he realized the power, James hid away the multiple voicemails, never to be heard more than once again.
It's time for Thoughts of the Week with Dylan Pollock on Day of the Samurai, or Lava Greater Than Forgiveness. We definitely needed more than 3 grunt noises recorded by the actress in the beginning, because those just played over and over again in the first 30 seconds, and it got a bit annoying.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Also, Bruce says that fighting styles are like fingerprints. No, they're not. Many people know many styles. This doesn't make any sense. Does every southpaw boxer have the same quote-unquote fingerprint, Bruce? Oh, and also, this episode's got some weird animation highs and lows. The lava fighting silhouette looks great, but right after that is the shot where Batman's like, block, block, slap, slap. And it looks preposterous, and I want a gif of it. Him fighting Kyoto Kai like that.
It looks cool.
Overall, this episode is pretty okay. I would give it 6 tattered remains of the Onigiri touch out of 10.
6.
Time for the question of the day, James' favorite part.
That's exactly what we
James,
did.
I'm sure you're going to start reading a lot of kid books soon. So what were your favorite books as a kid? Obviously, Brian, too. I want to give a shout out to Captain Underpants, Nate the Great, and the Diggingest Dog. I want to hear yours now.
I just pulled a whole stack of Captain Underpants out of
Oh
a
my
bucket.
god! Can we go back and do the
Do it.
synopsis?
Play me something.
Oh, this is gonna do a good thing. Check this out.
Stop this, Brian. This isn't the dog cast.
Yeah, it is.
Are they all gonna start doing that now? Oh, Nigiri touch, he said.
I love my dogs. Max, come here. Thanks for singing, buddy.
He makes good accompaniment.
He also does that to any wind instrument so far that I've found, but also accordions make him like sing along. On to Dylan's question though. You want to start us off?
Oh yeah, I was just saying I pulled a stack of Captain Underpants books out of a tub, but I definitely Go Dog Go is a good one.
Okay.
It's Dr. Seuss adjacent book.
Interesting.
But not Dr. Seuss himself.
I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is something that I was like obsessed with, and it's a really, really short read, but The Stinky Cheese Man.
Oh yeah. You got it on the shelf somewhere?
It's either oh wait.
There's like Where the Sidewalk Ends is a good one. Shel Silverstein.
Yeah, I do have it.
There it is. And other fairy tales.
And other fairy tales. I feel like I didn't really read a lot of kids' books. Like I remember like reading books in like the early like learn to read stages, but then I feel like I just read my dad's books. So like Gene Shepherd and stuff like that, which I also have.
Yeah, I don't. I definitely have the period of childhood where I just read a bunch of kid books, and then the books I was forced to read in school, and then I don't really read books.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
Because I'm not smart.
Oh, whoops.
Whoopsie. I'm looking ahead at the episodes that are coming up, and I'm trying to decide which is the best one. I'm pulling out those Captain Underpants books out of that tub was where the same tub where I found Tigers on the Hunt, everybody. Tigers on the Hunt.
Make the cheer sound happen.
Oh,
there it is.
Nobody remembers what I'm talking about. In the Tiger
I was going to say Tiger. I knew that.
I mentioned that I think I said like third or fourth grade. It turns out it was second grade. Wrote a story that I also remembered being quite long. It is 4-page, not even 3.5 pages long, printer paper, double space. That I went to some sort of like writing seminar, cool award thing for as a baby boy, and I want to read it on the podcast, but I don't know if this is the episode to do it. So I gotta figure out like the best. If you want me to read Tigers on the Hunt, let me know if you actually give a shit, listener. Second grade James's first notable story, I guess. You like the Watchtower Database story? This is a new lore edition. Tigers on the Hunt.
I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Yeah. Let me play the final voice messages from Scotty Cameron. No subject.
Ring it.
Oh, there's some starlings and brown bats.
That is some audio from the best episode of this show on Leather Wings. Which, by the way, I listened to Jamie review that on the DCAU review.
I did do that.
Sadly, there are some spoilers in that review.
Yes.
But anyways, Day of the Samurai. It's an okay episode. Nothing special. There aren't that much more clips of Batman's origin story. And, it's another lava episode, surprisingly, after Blind as a Bat.
Oh, yeah, 2 lavas back to back.
That's all. Definitely not Dylan Pollock talking like a ninja.
Was that talking like a ninja? I don't know.
I forgot about... I completely forgot about Lava Land from the last episode. How did we forget about Lava Land?
I don't know.
Damn.
Of all adventures in Lava Land, this was one.
Truth.
Alfred was there. He went, oh!
With jaw.
Oh!
I'm still going to vote for worst animation. Write in next week and let us know.
Yeah, I did talk about On Leather Wings on the DCAU review, and I also mentioned some stuff in there that you shouldn't listen to, so don't listen to that.
I'm going to go listen to it.
No, don't! Oh, I'm going to watch Batman and Harley Quinn. I'm Brian.
That's what I sound like.
That is, you sound like a ninja. These are comments on the Podtower upload of Blind as a Bat or Adventures in Lava Land. This is from Tip Apricot. Emailing has been sending me to the Shadow Realm recently, so I'm here in the comments again for a bit. Okay, so something is still fucky. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry.
Did you check your spam?
Yes, I do. I do check that quite often, thinking that because sometimes people's mail goes there.
Yeah.
But I didn't get anything. Anyway, Day of the Samurai was actually the episode I thought I remembered when Night of the Ninja happened, because I remembered it as a more interesting appearance for Kyodai Ken. And I still don't mind it. It has some weird vibes here and there, but Kairi is really fun, and the plot has some interesting ups and downs. I think the idea of Batman having to fight someone who he knows could kill him, just doesn't know how, creates some really fun stakes, and the solution and twist actually totally landed for me. So overall, I enjoyed it. Not a fave, but not bad. And the Japanese seem to sound mostly accurate, which is cool. Don't know what I can say for background signs, though. Only qualm was that the animation was really up and down, sometimes being fluid in a really dynamic way, and sometimes looking weirdly blobby and off-model. I actually did a scene double take where I turned the episode back in the scene where they forgot to change the background the characters are on, just slightly zooming in after the fight moved off screen. Hopefully I'll return to the world of the Audible someday, but until then, But until then, till you drop. I think it's Yop till you drop.
Yeah, probably.
TOO till you drop, my dude. You too. Thank you. Yeah, you caught all the stuff. How did Dylan Pollock get 6 out of 10 maps of the thing, which is exactly what both of us said? How does he do this? He's listening.
Dylan is kind of a magical creature.
He's the Joker standing outside of Wayne Manor, taking over the airwaves right outside Bruce Wayne's house, like just Bruce Wayne's TV.
Yeah.
Scotty Cameron says, I didn't hear any ads in the Spotify version. Okay, good to know. Deductionist. Hey, James and Brian. Glad you found Blind as a Bat slightly enjoyable. I always thought of it as the best Penguin episode in all of BTAS, but that obviously is not saying much, LOL. I always thought the premise of this episode was cool. It gives Batman some Daredevil-esque powers with his mental mushroom helmet. Also, glad you brought up the excessive coverage for Bruce's eyes, and maybe I missed it, how did you not discuss his scarf with his robe? This is the most cliche rich guy I think we've ever seen Bruce, LOL. His leisure robe with the scarf made me giggle each time.
Fair point.
I forgot to comment on the last video, so I want to say, Akira Slide! Also, Day of the Samurai is up next. Always found it cool. I had this in Golden Book form as a young kid, and then found out it was an episode later as a slightly larger kid. But I'll also share more of that on next week's episode. Stay yappy, folks.
Whoops. Sorry.
Whoops.
Sorry for cutting it to shreds, the thing that you love. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to like the things sometimes that we don't like.
That's true.
How it goes. MN Drew 1, dropping in to provide the data you requested. No commercials on the podcast when listening to the Android Podcast Addict app. Generally true of all podcasts there, which is why I use it. Let's see, what else? Oh, Zeta Month has to be the scariest Halloween concept ever. Well played. Good. Scarlowy 1, I usually listen on Spotify, then come here to comment, and I've never heard an ad on Spotify. Okay, so ads are not happening. Cool. No money for us. Super Luigi 64. The reason the first season of BTAS is 65 episodes is that 65 shows the amount of episodes a series needs for weekday syndication. 5 episodes a week for 13 weeks. Many cartoons, especially at the time, would be picked up for 65 episodes first, and then maybe renewed if it was really big. That's true. Thank you. To pick up from Blind as a Bat, the sound effect you were wondering about is best known as the photon torpedo sound in the original Star Trek. That's where I know it from.
Yeah. Didn't I say that?
I think we were saying Star Wars things. I don't think we said.
Whoops.
If you want to see some great Studio Junio work, check out the opening and closing cinematics from the game Sonic CD. Looking forward to Day of the Samurai, a.k.a. Adult Titans Trouble in Tokyo. That's a riff on the Teen Titans animated movie Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo.
Oh. I just assumed it was a Teen Titans
Take
joke.
that laugh back, you ass.
Wait, Teen Titans isn't... Is Teen Titans the DCAU?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I have watched some of that.
Yeah. You can YouTube that question you just asked and get 2 videos from us that say no. No, it's not.
Sweet.
Nick Sorensen says, you can't escape the penguin, not even in your basement. Old Pengy's solo outings in BTAS seem to be pretty uneven in terms of quality, but I do think the latter half of his episodes have been better than his earlier ones. I just didn't have much to comment on with Birds of a Feather, since it did still feel like a nothing special sort of episode, especially when you're having to watch it in between both parts of Robin's Reckoning. And have you noticed how often they had to compromise Batman in some way to make Penguin more of a threat for him, whether making him blind, sabotaging the Batmobile, or having him be unconscious down in a kid's basement? I've got some cleaning to do down there in the basement. Thanks for sending Brian my message, James. I'll really be looking forward to when both of you watch Mask of the Phantasm together for the podcast.
Oh, yes, me too.
That's very true. I had not considered that almost every time that Batman fights Penguin, he has to be like incapacitated in some horrible way.
I never thought of that, but it's an absolutely perfect point.
Yeah. KM says, I liked Day of the Samurai, direction, use of Japanese language, voice acting, writing, etc. But animation quality changing between kind of okay and terrible really decreases the episode's quality. It has some of my favorite animation mistakes in the entire DCAU. On the rooftop fight scene after Batman rescued Kyrie with 2 back-to-back shots that use the same background, even though the camera angles changed. I had to watch that again just to understand what happened.
You're right.
Yeah, us kind of, we wish we had.
Yeah.
Also in the same scene, both Batman and Kyodai step on a background thing that they shouldn't step on. Animation isn't really bad until volcano fight scene. Earlier parts of the episode seem like worse versions of Fleischer Superman cartoons. Yeah, okay. Very like rotoscopy, moving every frame kind of a thing. The volcano fight is pretty bad. I especially like how Bruce deflects Kyodai's blows, slapping his hand without moving his body at all. Yeah, that is really cool. I agree.
Yeah,
and that is
so
an
bad.
unfortunate because the rest of the episode was building up to that epic final confrontation. Even if the episode's not top 10 of material, I don't think it's a bad episode. I think the name of the podcast episode could be Adventures in Lava Land Part 2. What are the chances of 2 episodes of final fights in lava-themed locations back? We just didn't know.
Yet again, our listeners pay more attention than we do.
Lapis Azul went bankrupt while doing this episode.
Oh.
Add it to the list, apparently. It kind of shows that in the animation quality. They probably went bankrupt while making that volcano fight. Also, I want to tell a story that's kind of about this studio. In the early 90s, 2 artists graduated Cal Arts and they got a job. Instead of trying to make into American animation industry, they went into Spain and worked as in-between artists for Lapis Azul. Company went bankrupt shortly after, but the experience they gained while working there helped them to land a job on Cartoon Network show Two Stupid Dogs. One of them is Genndy Tartakovsky, who is best known for creating Dexter's Laboratory, Samurai Jack, Hotel Transylvania movies, and most recently, Primal. Other one is Rob Renzetti, who created My Life as a Teenage Robot and worked as a director on shows like Samurai Jack, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, etc.
I love Foster's Home.
Yeah, at least Lapis Azul's bankruptcy created 2 successful artists.
At least you got that.
And finally, I don't think Lapis Azul is the only company to blame about the animation in this episode. Jade Animation made some later DCAU episodes on their own with some others. They did the layout for this episode, I forgot to mention. I don't think those episodes look good as well. Yeah, I knew the Genndy Tartakovsky thing. I forgot about that. I think someone maybe mentioned it in the If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich comments or something. But yeah, cool stuff. Jarlid97, the combination of sci-fi adjacent dogfight, the use of laser cannons, I guess they have those. They just have those. And the final battle on a walkway over molten ground. I think this legally counts as a Star Wars episode. James Royster, the animation on this episode was so weird. Sometimes I was like, this studio did the Sewer King episode. And then other times I was like, oh yeah, this studio did the Sewer King episode. Ian Thompson. The Penguin on BTAS is in such a precarious position. His design is interesting, his voice acting is stellar, Brian would disagree, and overall he's very iconic, but his episodes don't amount to much, though I would argue he had some good moments and scenes within otherwise unremarkable plots. My favorite appearance we've seen of him so far is interacting with the other rogues, especially in Almost Got Him, or the squawking hallucination in Dreams of Darkness, when his head explodes and he becomes Two-Face.
Yeah.
He lacks a strong theme or through line of motivation other than stealing or hijacking high-tech vehicles and tech. Seeing himself as sophisticated high society Gotham elite is interesting, but not followed through or executed well enough. He needs either a stronger role or motivation that grounds him as an integral part of Gotham's underbelly, or needs to double down on over-the-top bird crimes. Stealing or hacking into tech like the Copter or Batmobile should have been left to some other rogue, maybe give it to Riddler and have him be the reprogramming technology programmer guy. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Squawk. I'm recovering from skin graft surgery, so you guys are definitely providing great entertainment for me to chill and relax and laugh to while I heal. I appreciate you guys. Thanks. Surgery recovery.
Yeah, glad you're on the other side. Hope that recovery goes smoothly.
Hey, gut update, Brian?
Guts are still in.
Nice, perfect. That's all I care about. Yeah. Until they're not, shut up. I don't want to hear about it.
Cool.
Brian's always talking about his guts. He won't stop talking about it. Batgirl fangirl. Scarloey1, Keen, Scotty, Jordan, Dylan, loved all your messages. Day of the Samurai, as it says on the title card. Or Batman somehow talks through his teeth. I like how Alfred felt the need to bring the cordless phone to Bruce in the Batcave on a silver platter. I hope Bruce wasn't hungry. Also, the bit where Kyodai is consulting his map, puts his hand on the rock on the cave wall that's so obviously different it could be in a Hanna-Barbera Scooby-Doo episode. I said that, I was like, maybe it's behind the animated rock, yeah. Things could have turned out really different if Yoru Sensei had the foresight to laminate that ancient scroll instead of just putting it in a box. I liked the episode. The animation's very different, but still good, particularly in the action and fight scenes. Someone I can't remember who did a minute ago. It might have been Dylan. I'm just gonna say it's Dylan because Dylan's everybody. Mentioned the silhouette shot against the lava. There's like they're just completely silhouetted.
Yeah,
that was kind of cool. It was still just very sloppy. So I was like, oh, this would be good if it was good. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Less so when the characters were in normal conversation. I felt like it was a step up from if you're so smart, why aren't you rich, or dorsal aspect of the hand. Keen podcast as usual, guys. 5 stars and 5 conveniently erupting volcanoes. Thank you.
Thanks.
Biking on. If nothing else, this episode is ambitious. This is Blind as a Bat. It has Blind Batman and super high-tech helicopter in one episode. Execution is sure lacking, and there's at least some ambition to do a lot more than, say, a train or Batman meets Orphan Oliver. Day of the Samurai. This is probably one of the lesser-known BTAS episodes, but I love the climax on an exploding volcano, and they're making an effort with the whole samurai ninja ideology. I have a real soft spot for this episode. Yeah, you do, don't you? Banana Man says okay.
Okay.
Maddie says, Rudy Giuliani was never cool and always right-wing nutty, but I get the point that he wasn't necessarily shunned as much as he should have been. He probably was hiding it better earlier on, I guess. Lanola Cola. Ooh, it's Dave the Samurai is the next episode. I remember the final battle and how Batman was able to counter the ninja's secret technique. Not to mention that the ninja is the second person in this series to know Batman's secret identity and third person to die during an episode. The first two being Dick Grayson's parents in Robin's Reckoning Part 1.
Wow.
Interesting. I feel like that there must have been someone else that died. Those people that fall into the water off the Zatanna plane couldn't have survived.
What about the people that fell off of the Lady of Liberty or whatever her name is?
Yeah. Tim Burton falling off the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Wency 209, the Penguin, the Yoppie dude's greatest arch nemesis, number 1 going to ACOM, of course. Also, I wonder how the podcast would have gone if you decided to watch BTAS in production order instead of air date order. Just some food for thought. Oh, some Yoppie food, perhaps? Anyways, have a good old Yoppie day, Brother Bricken. Guests later. I knew someone would do it. Ivan Thomas. Oh, wow, it's been a while since I left a comment, huh? The last time, I believe, was Almost Got Him. What a great episode. But now we're on episode 54, another Penguin episode. Ha, good luck with that. See y'all on the next time I comment again. I must return to the shadows where all listeners who don't participate go. The back of the classroom. Yop, yop. Scarloey one says, ignore this comment. Oh,
whoops.
And finally, we have Mark Aquino. Ooh-wee, this was a stinker. This is Blind as a Bat, is what he's referring to. Len Wein was such a legend, let's be clear. I mean, this is the writer. I mean, this is the man that created Swamp Thing, Lucius Fox, and Wolverine, for crying out loud. But the stories he wrote for BTAS are far from his best work, and yes, I must concede to Jim Jam, thank you ma'am, and agree that this Penguin episode was pretty bad. Subpar writing, iffy animation, and side characters whose acting take you out of the whole thing. This honestly might be one of the worst I've seen from this show, and that's including the ACOM episodes. Oh well.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Zeta Month. I can tell all the plans Jamarooney and Mighty Matty have been cooking up all these years are about to finally pay off. You're correct. I think you will enjoy
Jamie.
it. I mean, what?
What is the Zeta Project?
I know now.
Oh.
I can say I know now. It's a show. It's a spin-off of Batman Beyond. It's Zeta. It's a robot. Wow. That's the theme song.
Oh.
Yeah. Meanwhile, at Yop Tower headquarters, imagine the draftiest, muskiest basement you can think of. Yop 1, Mr. Freeze impression. Oh, hang on.
Are you getting a can?
Soon they will learn that revenge is a dish best served Yoppie. Mr. Freeze!
You're supposed to do that into the can still.
Mr. Freeze! I can't do it. Anywho, all the best to the number 1 podcast hosts in this here multiverse of ours. Jamie, more like Bay-me, am I right?
Yes, you're
and
right.
Brother Brian Broderick Brushy briskly breezing past Brendan Fraser's brainstorming Brillo pad with Brazil's brassy brigade of brunettes but brimming with bratty brilliance and breathtaking braggadocio, Bohemian Rhapsody. I had speaking of children's books, I had a like alphabet book that was like this like beautiful baboon biking backwards, banana basket, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
That's what that always reminds me of when he says that stuff.
That's
Praise
fair.
to our Lord and Savior Dylan Pollock, his disciple Scarloy, One Batgirl, Fangirl, Scotty Cameron, Wetsy 209, Tip Tap, Rikaki Machine, Banana Man, etc. And the awesome sauce listeners of this Yoppie community of ours. My God, my throat.
You can do it, Jamie. We're almost done.
You all rule, never forget that. Maybe I'll leave a voicemail next time. Who knows? Until next time, smoke bomb!
I'm not going to... I don't believe this. The voice...
No, it didn't happen
never
this
gonna
time.
come.
Dylan Pollock says, how does he always do that? Where does he go?
Into the smoke.
I wish I knew.
Like Kyodai Ken.
The name you'll never have to remember again.
I got it now.
He's dead. Yeah, right at the last second. You got it. All right, Brian, next week's episode is called See No Evil.
Blind as a bat. It's just going to...
Nope.
It's going to be blind as a bat, but from the other perspective.
Oh, it's just the penguin going, now I can't see.
Yeah. No, it's just...
I guess I'm fucked because
Well, yeah,
Batman
maybe.
can see still.
Sorry, wait, what's it called? See No
Evil. That is weird to be so close to the blind one, but yeah.
Is it a Riddler episode?
I don't know. What do you think the Riddler's gonna do?
No
evil, apparently.
Make a bunch of puns.
Okay.
And not one riddle.
Yeah, the punner.
Yes. Is it a Riddler episode?
It's not a Riddler episode.
Fuck!
You want to take one more shot? I'll give you one more.
Okay. See No Evil.
CeeLo Green. I see Batman driving around town in his Batmobile.
I don't know. I know it's going to be like in hindsight, it's going to be really obvious, but I feel like I just see no evil. I mean, can you tell me who the bad guy is?
It's a one-time bad guy.
Oh, I don't know. There's going to be 3 monkeys in the title card.
I'll give you a little preemptive trivs that's not going to help you at all.
Cool.
He's visually based on James Woods. He looks like James Woods.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. The animation company got fired, and so it's all just like it's a podcast. It's just blacked out podcast.
It's just audio, yeah.
But there is still the 3
James
monkeys
Woods.
speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil.
Oh, yeah. They're just sitting there on screen.
They're the title card. That's my prediction.
Do they look like James Woods?
Yeah, it's like James Woods doing this and this and this.
Yeah. Ooh, piece of candy. All right. Well, we'll see you next week, everybody. If you want to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of the Cat in the Claw Part 2, you can email us at podcast@watchtowerdatabase.com and hope it works. You can also send us one single voice message by going to anchor.fm/Bat-Wagon and leave a comment on today's episode on the Podtower YouTube channel. We'll read it on the podcast probably. Subscribe for new DCAU podcasts every week, like the DCAU review and us, and maybe more coming in the future. Kind of, maybe. Tim Talk, all of them are on there. They're not doing new ones, but they're still on there. I miss Tim Talk.
Go listen to him.
Don't you miss Tim Talk? You've never listened to it.
And I can't.
No. You can listen to the first 54 episodes of Tim Talk.
Oh.
55 episodes.
Sweet.
Schwiggity, let's leave. This is the end. Do we go now? My throat hurts.
Yeah, I think we should go for the sake of your throat.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
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 Goodbye. I don't know. Leave me alone.
I'm sorry about Kyodai, Sensei.
We all choose our own path, Wayne-san. He walked a dark trail. It was not your responsibility. If you see Batman, tell him I have great respect for him.
Why? He's as much a ninja as Kyodai was.
Not so. Batman offered to help his adversary. And the lesser man would have used the knowledge of the Onemuri touch against his opponent. Batman is the essence of samurai, Wayne-san. You would do well to remember that.
Domo arigato, Sensei.
I love my dogs.